Now, what do you want me to do?
Tell them a bedtime story.
You want me to tell them a Terry tale?
Yeah.
No, a fairy tale, Grandpa.
A Terry tale, okay. I don't need no music, you just back up. Try not to look stupid. Don't get cheeky with me. Once upon a while, in a corn country, there lived a beautiful girl. Her name was Rinder-Cella. Now, Rinder-Cella lived with her muggly other and her two sad blisters. Now, Rinder-Cella was in charge of all the wordy dirt. She had to flop the moors, whop the chud. She was a good chud whopper. But she did all this wordy dirt while her two sad blisters sat on their fig bannies, cheating auklets and magging a readazine. Now, in this same corn country, there lived a very pransome hince. Very pransome, he was on the cover of QG. Now this pransome hince was going to have a fancy fall, so he invited people for riles amound, especially the pitch reaple. Now Rinder-Cella's muggly other and her two sad blisters, they went out to buy some dancy fresses for the fancy fall. But Rinder-Cella couldn't go. All she had to wear were some old ruddy dags. So she just cat down and sried. And she was kidding there, srying, when all of a sudden there was a blinding flash of light. And there appeared before her, her Gary Mudfather. Glowing like the sun and wearing a tink poo-poo. Now, he touched Rinder-Cella with his magic wand.
Thanks, I'll be here all week.
Shut up. Now he touched Rinder-Cella with his magic wand, and poof, all of a sudden appeared before her a keg boach and Hicks white sources to carry her to the fancy fall. But he said, Rinder-Cella, you must be home before midnight, or I will turn you into a tumpkin. So Rinder-Cella went to the fancy fall, and the first two people she run into, her sad blisters. But she was such a babishing Rudy you could hardly send her eyes Reckonella. Well, now, eventually, the pransome hince found his way over, and he said to Rinder-Cella, may I dab this, Hance? She said yes, and they danced all night, till midnight, and they lay in fub. It was like they were shot with one of Pukid's arrows. Now, when the mid-clock struck night, Rinder-Cella in a dad mash staced down the rares. You had too many beans is what you had. Rinder-Cella staced down the rares, and when she beached the rodham, she slopped her dripper. Now, the pransome hince found the slash glipper. He held it high above his head and said, "Gore the furl whose soot this flipper gets."
Say that again.
You can't. "Shall be my wedded wife." So the very next day, the Pransome Hens searched all over the corn country for the beautiful girl who'd slopped her dripper. When he arrived at Rinder-Cella's house, he tried to slash glipper on her mug leather. It didn't dit. But then he tried to slash glipper on her two siggly esters. It didn't dit. They couldn't even get their tig bow in. But then he tried to slash glipper on Rinder-Cella, and the foo... It fid dit. So Rinder-Cella and the Pransome Hens were married and lived heavily after afterwards. Now, the story of the moral is, if you want to go to a Bancy Fall and have a Pransome Hens loll deeply in fub with you, don't forget to slop your dripper.
The English language will never be the same.